Alrighty, welcome everybody. So we had a look at the bracket just a moment ago. Apple Concentrates were the winners of the last 2v2 series, so they will receive a bye. Tonk was also a regular peer. We gave them a bye as well. First match of the day that we're doing is Turtles versus the Unknown. It should be some fun stuff today. They are pretty close in MMR range, so shouldn't have many issues here. Alright, it looks like we are all set up, and as we expected, this is already a close matchup. Long bang towards, but it's going to be just wide of the left wall. Berg, quick on the other way, but it is wide. Like to already see some physical game going. Reset from Squiddy, a double reset. Definitely lots of mechanics being shown so far. Zabi with lots of control. And Dan shot, but it is off the crossbar. Nice follow-up with the miss on defense. 2-1 lead for Turtles. Nice start, all things considered. We got everything sorted out rather quickly, and a close series to start things off. Matches tend to be a little closer, then they swing a little more on the lopsided end towards the middle of the tournament. But once we get everything weeded out and you start getting towards your losers in grand finals, that's when the real fun starts. Interesting to note so far is that the Unknown, they're definitely taking a more mechanical approach in general. We are seeing more control and flicks a lot of the time from Turtles so far. Also worthy of note is that Unknown is one of our friends over at the Skyward series. Lots of fun over there. Check that out. And in fact, as they get posted, we might actually see some more Skyward Series competitors coming in. Shout out my boy Flip Out. What a guy. Three to 1, your score in game one. As always, this is a best of 3, so you're already on match point if you take a game just now. And Turtles have a comfortable lead, but not too comfortable. They still need to be pretty careful about it. Danny, control, flick, just a bit high. As we're continuing to see the control versus mechanics. Nice flick and good patience from Danny overall. This is a little bit of an awkward ball, but Rainbow's over the net to not be much of a threat. Continue with the control though. Juicy Berg, nice little round there. Good dribbling and taking a page out of the controlling book of Turtles. Nice solo play effort. Just pots that one back in. We're back to a 1-goal difference. In some other outside of South Suburban news, the NHL playoffs are underway as well as the NBA playoffs. I certainly have my biases towards hockey, go Avs and whatnot, but all those games will be on national TV for both the NBA and the NHL. Definitely have a watch there if you're interested at all. In some other actual South Suburban news, the Spring Showcase is getting ever closer. May 20th. Final prizing has been announced for the Rocket League Series at $375 for first place, but second and third are not being left out. No. $150 goes to second and $75 for third place. Reminder that there is a $20 venue fee, but once you get in for that $20, you can enter as many tournaments as you please, as many as you can cram in your schedule, be it Rocket League or Fighting or FGC games. Whatever you want, you can participate in. That'll be going from 12 to 10 p.m. May 20th. Keep it on your calendars. Another special thanks goes out to 5280 Esports for providing our second place prizing. Reminder that our first place gets $100 in straight up cash, but second place gets something pretty close to that, two $50 gift codes to 5280 Gaming's merch store. Lots of comfy stuff there. Definitely check them out. shop.5280esports.com. And one more thanks to Community Gaming for helping us put together the bracket and such. That is an unreal pinch. It is off the backboard there, although the clean follow-up should mean a goal, and indeed it does. Tie game at 3. Game 1 is coming down to the wire. Possibly a kickoff goal if he can handle this well, and indeed he does. Gets it right back. Little dribble play getting just a touch of revenge on what the unknown, and this time it was Squiddy, but revenge for what Juicy did to him just a moment ago. Overall, a very clean game played by both sides. I could see this easily going to overtime, especially if Juicy wants to pull something out. Has a reset, but bounces too far away from the ball to make any use of it. Nix, one more time, just a banger of a power shot and restores a 2-goal lead in just about 10 seconds of game time. Squiddy, if he just used about a quarter of a second more time in the air before going for his backflip, he might have had a chance at knocking that one away, a possible save off the crossbar, but it doesn't go. Squiddy looking for vengeance. Flip reset, but it doesn't go anywhere. Now it's Zavi's turn. Towards the net, top left. Hits the cross post. So Squiddy is keeping this one alive. Lead's been cut back in half, and we've seen the magic that they've pulled off. Not much time to do it. Possibility for a kickoff goal if Turtles is more aggressive, but they decide to back off and play a bit more defensive. Squiddy, pass over to Juicy. Juicy, full boost to work with, but can't get a touch over his teammate. Doesn't hit the ground, but Zavi beats him to the ball. 1-0. Game 1 goes to the Turtles. Game 2 underway, and Zavi looking to put away a quick goal early, but not enough power, and Squiddy can deal with that rather easily. Squiddy with perfect setup. Has a reset, but a little bit awkward. Juicy, though, with chance for the follow-up, and Nix tosses that one away easily. Zavi might have a free goal, but no, Squiddy very quick up to that. Preserves the tie game so far. Zavi could have gotten him into a mess with the pre-flip there. I've certainly done my fair share of pre-flip and accidental own goals. Lucky to see that it doesn't happen this time. Now Squiddy up. Low to the ground with plenty of control. Clean catch, but is insta-challenged away. Juicy gives Zavi a free ball, who just clears it away, and the unknown has some more possession time. Juicy towards the top left corner. Can he place it? Yes, but Zavi rushing back to make the save. Now Zavi up on the counter attack. Wants a reset. Doesn't get it, but it ends up working out for him. Accidentally fakes out Juicy, and it's a 1-0 lead for Turtles. Great composure there to realize the mistake, but still find a way. Clean power slide. Uh-oh. And what's going on here? Alright, looks like we had a bit of an issue with connection. However, they decided to just even up the score, and we'll play a tie game with 3:15 to go. And with a reset in just slightly less time, the Unknown are pushing with some clean pressure, although Squiddy nowhere to be seen. Until now, Juicy. Good bump to set things up. Cut, flick, but Zavi deals with that one nicely, although the Turtles are getting a little tangled up with themselves. Juicy might have a free net to shoot at. Does, but Zavi, it slipped by Danny, and I was thinking that was going to be a free goal, but just deals it all. Pass across to Juicy. Nice clean cut. Right angle shot, as I like to call it. Just goes one way, send it the other, confuse the defense. Absolutely gorgeous. The Unknown have themselves a lead. Now they just need to preserve it to push this one to a Game 3. Although if Turtles can turn this around, they can end this series early. Squiddy, lots of control, air dribble over one, tossed away by Danny, but Juicy continuing to maintain the pressure. Zavi is alone, but gets enough of a touch at it. Now Danny the other way, counterattack. Squiddy gets caught off, and it's a tie game once again, 2-2. Just a beautiful cut. Danny has really made a name for himself with the amount of control that he's displayed in this first round, and he's not going to be stopping that anytime soon. Composure on the save from Zavi. Those are tough ones to make. Juicy pinch out. But Zavi saves yet again. He's been fantastic, earned himself a Savior medal. Danny is not there for the follow-up, so the Unknown will head the other way. Squiddy, though, awkward, loses just enough control to make it comfortable for Danny. Zavi across. Now Zavi with control, but won't be able to do much with it. We've been stuck in the corner for an extended amount of time, but Squiddy finally has had enough. Smart boost grab from Danny just a second ago, recognizing that you have just enough time right there, and a steal could really be important, although there's no follow-up. Zavi. Unfortunate pass to no one. Zavi, wow, what a shot there. I didn't expect quite that much power to come out of it, but looks like they want this series over in 2. And Squiddy has had a couple unfortunate misses near his own goal line that have cost them dearly so far. Still plenty of time to turn this thing around. We've seen series of goals come within very short time frames. Well, it looks like Turtles are just that much better right now, and a beautiful dunk right there from Danny. Juicy couldn't do much else. Just lost a 50 and launched into their own net. Got to keep your wits about you and not panic too much, because remember that this is a double elimination tournament, so you're not quite out just yet. Still plenty of time, although when Zavi's flip resetting on you and Danny's punching in the last. Your life, your first life, might be just about over. With only 10% of the game left and a 3-goal lead, you need a pretty monstrous choke to throw this one away. And just about as we expect, that one was dangerous to go towards the bottom right corner, but nothing happens there. That final miss from Squiddy will seal the deal. Danny, though, wants a 6th one for the road. Has little control. Juicy actually has enough to get it towards the sidewall, maybe flash just a little something for giggles. And I'll toss it towards the ground. Call that a series 2-0. The Turtles will move on, and they will face Tonk in the second round. Interesting to note that this being on the correct server, some ping issues coming out for Turtles, but it looks like it's not bothering them too much. Let's head over to the bracket, shall we? We'll get the match results here in a sec, but you'll see in round 1, game 4, Turtles take a 2-0 series result, and they'll meet Tonk as they had a bye in their first round. We'll be back in a minute once we get the bracket updated and things set up. We will likely head up to, I believe, match number 5, where it'll be Apple Concentrates versus the winner of Kool-Aids vs. Mamba 3's. Do not go anywhere. We're headed to a break. All right, apologies, folks. We are experiencing a little bit of difficulty right now. We're actually going to move on to the winners final next. Apple Concentrate Kool-Aid and Tonk Turtles, they're playing their matchup separately, so it will be just a little bit of a wait. Hopefully shouldn't be too long. Stay tuned for the winners final in just a little bit. Hey, everyone, we are back and on to the winners final. Apple Concentrates took a tight series against Kool-Aid in a couple very close matchups near the end, but they did end up winning 2-1. Tonk also took a clean 2-0 against the Turtles, and the losers round 2 and 3 will go on in the background while we were doing with the more important match here, the winners finals, Apple Concentrates versus Tonk. Let's head on to the game as everyone should be joining the lobby here soon. Let's get on it, shall we? And a very quick goal coming out from probably one of my favorite names that we've ever had in this tournament, Anthony ate pizza. I wonder what his favorite kind of pizza is, although it's pretty hard to make pizza bad. Quick kickoff goal to put Tonk up at a quick advantage. Alrighty, this is definitely going to be one of our premier matches. This and the grand final is going to be absolutely crazy, and we'll see. I assume, yeah, it's probably going to end up being just with how much of a run that they gave Apple Concentrates. It's likely going to be either Apple Concentrates or Tonk versus Kool-Aid, which will be an incredible losers final. Go up to the grands, and the teams have agreed that it'll be a best of 7 with a game advantage instead of a true double elimination style. So they'll move forward with that. Tie game and what we already knew was going to be an incredible series to start. Anthony back pass, MDG pre-jumping to the moon. Max has lots of control, wants the double, but taken away by Anthony. Now Bolte heading the other way, trying to line himself up for the dunk, but MDG handles the 50 perfectly. MDG ground pinch, Anthony pre-jump save. So far, an incredibly mechanical matchup. And they might actually not need mechanics, although Anthony with a nice save will surely to go in. Aside from the kickoff goal, we have had not the quickest start to everything. Everyone's playing very fast, but not necessarily a bit more of a scoring drop than we may have expected from a couple powerhouses in the tournaments that we posted. Bolte catches MDG pre-jumping, but Mad Max saves. Anthony a little awkward on shadow defense, does a good job to avoid the demo. We'll have to reset the other direction. Bolte has a shot down, but doesn't take it. Anthony tries to redirect it just beneath the crossbar, but commits just a little too much and gives Apple a free goal for the lead. Double commits are not always bad if you're confident in your double commits, but they were wrong about that one. And it cost them dearly. Max pulling out as many resets as he can find. There's a third one, gets the bump past. Incredible mechanics, but just a little bit too slow, and it looks like it will have a free goal on the other side. Nice counter attack, and we're back tied. Long stay in the blue half. Bolte probably had a free shot had he not turned on that. They're looking to make up the difference. Catches Mad Max pre-jumping. Apple have been a little bit hasty on the pre-jumps. And so far, Tonk have done a great job of capitalizing on that. Yep, recognizes it, takes the low 50, and that Fennec is known for its strong 50-50s. Cannot go wrong. Bit awkward on the goal line. Bolte turns, shoots, and it's in. Catches Max just too much out of rotation. And Tonk have turned this game around rather quickly. Unlike the best of threes earlier, you're not immediately on match point. This is a best of 5, so you need 2 games to get on such a pace. Apple just need to keep their wits about them. We saw a second matchup just streamed this time, because the Apple Concentrates versus Kool-Aid, that match was supposed to be streamed, but they did end up making their own lobby, so it happens though. We roll with it. Although a second matchup of that on stream, that would be a treat and a half. MDG, what a reset there. That was nothing short of gorgeous. Gets a perfect scoop over the defender. And all of a sudden, you're back in it. Nasty right there. If I had half that man's mechanics, I'd be in a far better place than I am right now. Max flick over, MDG sends it down, and we're back to a tie game. Lots of back and forth, and as I said earlier, with Apple needing to keep their wits about them, they've done exactly that. Comeback complete. 57 seconds, still plenty of time for this to go either direction or into an overtime. Game 1 overtime would certainly be something special. Bolte looking to take a quick lead yet again, and just doesn't get enough on it. Tonk finds himself back in the lead yet again. Anthony just pulls that one away, and a strange on there from Max. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't think there was a controller disconnect, because it was just a hard stop. Like the idea for the fake, but kind of confused himself. And while they had just undone a multi-goal lead, a couple kickoff goals puts it right back. MDG is up, looking for the reset, gets it over one. Mad Max follow-up, but is sent aside by Bolte. Nice demo to alleviate some pressure, but Bolte's mechanics are also incredible. Nice stop. Seeing a very mechanical game from both sides. A little flash and flare certainly doesn't hurt against tough opponents. Well, that final demo should suit things. There you go. Enough control on the side, and Tonk will take a 1-0 series lead. We'll head to game 2, see if they can pull some more magic out, or if Apple will send it to a match point deciding game 3. Shots are fairly reflective of the score, 10-6. Would like to see just a little bit more aggression, but not necessarily lopsided. Anthony looking to get up to a quick start yet again. One reset, doesn't use it. Just allows Bolte, his teammate, to get a little extra control. Bolte having to stare down MDG, doesn't get the greatest shot off. Wants a demo, but doesn't have it either. MDG, delayed flick. A bit awkward, though, so that should give Anthony some free possession. Indeed, it does, but Bolte is too far back to punch that one away. So he doesn't need that, as he reads the bounce perfectly. Doesn't jump on it in time. MDG pays the price. One slight mistake at this level. I mean, you just saw MDG, just that little thirst for just a little extra boost. Did him in there. Bolte heading the other way, but not enough boost. Max. A little awkward there, so Bolte off the backboard. Reset down, flick, but no power on it. It's been a big battle of flip resets back and forth, it seems like. Every time it feels like they can go for one, they do. Bar down shot. Max can't get to it in time, and Tonk taking a commanding lead on this game. I was having flashbacks from my own game just a second ago. The amount of times, even just yesterday, I can't count on probably 10 hands the amount of times I had a free shot and slammed it into the crossbar. All Rocket League players will know that pain right there. Bolte probably should have taken a little extra time for some more control and could have had a free opportunity, but leaves Anthony in a 2v1. Anthony gets bumped, and bumped just enough for Apple to capitalize. Anthony almost did an incredible job of recovering, just tried to wave dash, failed the wave dash, and was sent aside. Fairly even kickoff. It looks like it will be somewhat in favor, though. Bolte accidentally gets it past, luckily. That's something I would struggle with in my lobbies, but at this level you can take control of the ball from just about any position and make up for your mistakes just a little easier. Nice demo on the back line, and it ends up working out for them. Tie game. I like the physicality, and a lot of these goals so far have come from being just a little too far out of rotation. We saw the boost thirst from MDG, and we saw the result of the demo, leaving Bolte alone. It's done wonders so far. MDG's up, fakes the reset, keeps going on the dribble, takes it low to the ground, flick over one, but Max doesn't jump on it, and Bolte can take some slow control. Now Max's turn, although Anthony slams that towards the top right, but controlled save yet again, and no quick counterattack, but let's move this in the tank. Awkward and plenty of space. Multiple players backing off from that, and that nearly bit Bolte, but it works out, possibly for just a second, though. No double. Bolte, long hit across. Was off target, but ends up leading to possibly a little extra possession. Bolte, clean control of his own backboard, recognizing that Mad Max didn't jump for it. Bolte, ground doubles have started to become part of the meta, especially in ones lately. I like to see it coming through in other game modes. Although, Caught just a little bit too far out. Recognizes it, jumps on it. MDG is clean mid. And Mad Max's demos are really making things far easier for Apple Concentrates.
There we go.
A back and forth series is continuing to be incredible here in game 2. All these players making plenty of great differences in their own ways. Bolty getting a little more physical with Mad Max, trying to take a bit of revenge, but they got caught out just a little too far out of rotation. Call it 4-2 for Apple. Bolty almost, but a nice save of the crossbar and a quick counter attack. That was surely going to be a goal, and that has to hurt, especially if you're Tonk. Nasty save and a perfect bounce off the crossbar. Tough break for Tonk, but they still have 3 lives on their side. Only 1 is gone, and it'll be boiled down to a best of 3. Bolty with plenty of boost, seeing if he can just get one for the road, although MDG pre-jumping him off the ceiling. I like the control that he's taking, but Bolty has been a little bit predictable with the amount of times he's taken it up in the air, but decided to bow down and take it low for some ground control. Gotta mix it up just here and there. MDG is alone versus Anthony, and that's going to be almost a free goal, but beans it at the end. Not going to matter, though. Too many goals of difference. A 1-1 series tie. We're going to see at least a game 4. The most important matchup so far. Shots are continuing to tell a story. Instead of 10-6 in favor of Tonk, it is now 10-6 in favor of Apple. The increased aggression is doing him justice. Game 3 is started, and a very pretty catch from MDG. Mad Max should be able to punch that one home towards the far post. And Apple are continuing the massive swing in momentum that they gave themselves in Game 2. Yeah, Anthony and Bolty just get a little bit caught up with each other in the near post. Free goal. Not going to miss that one often. Unless your in-game name is Fizzy, then you'll miss that one maybe 3/4 of the time. We won't talk about it, though. I'm not coping. Bolty off the ceiling. Pass down to Anthony, but it's no good. Definitely one of my favorite plays in my own games. Always love those clean ceiling passes. MDG, ripper of a musty. But nothing there. Oh, that was a pretty pass down. Can MDG finish it top left? What a save by Anthony. Incredible displays of just about anything you could ask for at this level. Crazy to think that not a single goal came out of it. MDG back on it. Mad Max. Whoa, ripper of a musty yet again. He's incredible at those, but They haven't come to fruition so far. Nice pass. Rips it. Bolty. Another save off the crossbar. They're playing Defense Simulator at the moment. I don't know if it's going to stop anytime soon. That's some nice pressure relief. Redirect down. Anthony shoves it through. They have started to really elevate their play late in the series. MDG, that's about all you can do from that position. If you backflip, your momentum is not in the correct direction. It's just going to get shoved through you regardless. A couple demos giving a brief 1v1, but nothing happens here. High-flying offense and show-stopping defense. Oh my lord, what a redirect there. Too bad it wasn't on target. But just the tiny touch that you need to even do something like that, regardless of if it's on target, is one of the hardest things to do in this game. Now Bolty, he's been a little quiet so far. Takes it to the ground. MDG waiting. Now Max in alone over one. Dunk on Bolty is unsuccessful. Off the ceiling to himself. Wanted a ground pinch, but not enough boost for it. As this game continues to be just a showdown of mechanics, MDG probably would have had a goal if he just shot it on net towards the far post, but didn't realize the absence in net. Starting to put a little fakes in. It feels like we're seeing something different just about every time. I mean, you can expect flip resets here and there, but past that, there's something different every single time, whether it's a double tap, a redirect, pass down, multiple flip resets, something even more ridiculous like the Psycho redirect that we saw from MDG. Just who's going to make it work first? MDG is sitting duck in net. Bolty is just slightly too far out. And a solo play effort does just enough. You have about a quarter, maybe even a tenth of a second more, and Bolty saves that. But that's all the difference you need right now. The offensive pressure so far has really been in favor of Apple Concentrates. Tonk had their massive show in game one. MDG, you are disgusting, dude. Can you stop? I don't know if we're allowed to stream something that nasty to the internet. Like, what even is that? Anthony has been one of the best defenders in the tournament by far, yet even he's having difficulty stopping some of these shots coming out. Anthony, opportunity, just wants a quick shot. MDG almost beans the save, but Mad Max bails him out. Will stay at a major difference. Anthony getting a little bit more restless on the ball. As you can tell, it's definitely been a frustrating game so far, and it's going to get even more frustrating when Mad Max picks off your pass from the very beginning. It would take a Toronto Maple Leafs level choke to throw this one away. It's not in a game 7, but it's still in one that's going to turn the tide of the series. And speaking of the Toronto Maple Leafs, it is 4-1. Flashback to the Boston series from many years ago. They're doing a great job so far. I was going to say not throwing, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best word, although the comeback is starting. Are things going to start falling apart? If any sort of sport has taught me anything, 99% of leads are not safe. And 2 goals in 39 seconds. Kickoff goal would be nice. Mad Max, not the greatest control, no boost to work with, is going to be stuck without boost for a while. This could be the chance they need if MDG doesn't get the greatest touch. Bolty down. Anthony, no, can't get enough power on it. And Mad Max was flailing like a fish on the goal line. Although Anthony continues, Mad Max might have thirsted for boost. Going for the bump, gets it! We're back within a 1-goal difference. 13 seconds to go. And oh boy, this is oddly reminiscent of the Game 7 between Toronto and Boston so many years ago. They tied it up with a goalie pull at the very last second. But never mind, it's not going to matter. 5-3, that'll likely be your final score. A couple kickoffs goals can happen. We've seen crazier chokes. But it feels like they've just really put that momentum to rest, catching him a little too far out. I definitely understand with so few seconds left in the game why you would want to get yourself boosted up so you can get that last little attack. MDG waited. What? Huh? I wonder if MDG's controller just like disconnected or something. He opened Dolphin Emulator. Dude's trying to play Mario Kart. Well, MDG, you can't really do much about that. There's still technically time. All that should clean hit the ground. Max got a little greedy. That could have hit the corner and been super dangerous. I wonder what MDG is playing on Dolphin Emulator right now, because a few months ago I beat the entirety of Mario Galaxy 2 in 2 days. Because what a time. I respect the old Wii games grind though. What a time. Shots even this time, as I mentioned, this was just back and forth, constant mechanical showdown, 12-12. That's intense for a single game. Anthony, as you saw in the stats just a second ago, the master defender. And when you can get that many goals past him, you're doing something right. Match point for Apple. Can Tonk push this one to a Game 5? Who knows? Max looking to make sure that doesn't happen, though. Sharp angle shot gets it just beneath. Bolty seems to have just a little bit too much trust in Anthony that he can do basically everything, it feels like. Left him out to dry. Max is awkward without much boost, but nobody's near the ball. You can bang that ahead. MDG wants a redirect. Had Bolty not been there, that could have been a crazy double. Anthony wants the bump yet again, but Max does a masterful job avoiding those air dribble bumps, some of the hardest things to deal with, especially in even high level ones where it's really become dominant. Players are starting to find their way around it. Anthony, awkward against MDG, wants a dunk and doesn't have it. Mad Max is chasing Anthony, wants some revenge, but Bolty, an incredible save. Unfortunately, can't do that, and Mad Max has already gotten it past both defenders. Can't redirect it out, but it's not going to matter if MDG shoots the ball, which... no comment. Anthony looking to head the other way on a counterattack. Max, good control. More physical play. Max, after having Anthony do the exact same thing, delayed flick right under the crossbar. MDG is disgusting with his mechanics. Oh, just gross, man. Tonk's stride has been thoroughly broken. There's still plenty of time. This shot not doing them any favors. There's still time. 3 minutes left on the clock, especially in a game, especially in any game like this at a high level. Things can swing just like that. Oh, MDG, you didn't have to do that to Anthony, man. The mentals just have to be tough right now. This is not Tonk's last life, as they will go down to the losers final against what's likely to be Kool-Aid. But they'd rather at least extend this series to 5. Bolty butts in to see if he can do something himself, but is unsuccessful in his venture. Looks like Anthony and Bolty are starting to resort to what's common, what's familiar, what makes sense. Those bangs off the corners, while they do work, they're often extremely predictable. And most teams are not going to have a difficult time on defense dealing with something like that. Mad Max might have a free shot here, gets the angle, make that 4-0. Then Anthony is not oh, okay, so it looks like they're done. They've said their GGs. I wonder if they're just gonna, maybe they're just saying a preemptive GG because they think it's already over. Although typically there's definitely been instances where if you just want to forfeit, you'll say your GGs and just leave the lobby. Yeah, Apple have just walked all over Tonk ever since Game 1. Game 1, they had their wake-up call. Certainly hasn't been a free series. But once they got their momentum going, Tonk just could not keep up. Anthony chasing down MDG. Bolty and the shot accuracy has been a little difficult too. That's, I think, the second or third time this game that we've seen one of their players just rail a flick off the crossbar or post. Make that 5. Bolty has clearly had just about enough, just wanted a little revenge bump on Max, but it ends up sending him into just the right position to squeeze a little more lemon on the wound. At this point, we are thoroughly in garbage time, so now we're just going to do little things for show off, maybe get something for the road, but MDG just wants this done and done. Especially if they can carry this momentum into the grand finals, where they could possibly face Tonk. If they can keep this going and just continue to drain Bolty and Anthony's mentals. Yeah, it looks like everyone's done. Everyone stopped caring. Anthony wants a turtle for the road, but MDG says no. And that will do it. 3-1 series. A good series, no doubt. But once Apple really got the ball rolling, there was no stopping them. All right, let's head over to the bracket while we have a moment, shall we? Perfect. There it is. So, Apple Concentrates move on to the grand finals, and it'll be Mamba 3s versus Kool-Aid. It looks like they already have that done, so we'll just input the match result. And Mamba 3s will move on. Mamba 3s in a surprising turn of events, is the way we seeded a lot of this was through MMR. Kool-Aid was the favorite, but it ended up working out. The losers final is underway. All right, moving forward, so Tonk makes their first repeat appearance. Mamba Threes is not a name we've seen so far, so these are our new guys. And likely coming from Skyward Series. I might have to fact check myself for a second there. If we look right here, and no, they actually either came from Frost or Collegiate Rocket League. But it is nice to see we have some new faces around here, especially some challengers to Apple Concentrates. That was nearly a crazy dunk by Evan. Vantage reset wants the double, but Anthony takes that one away. And I predict another pretty incredible series. Bolty in alone, Vantage. Evan might have a free net to shoot at, or Vantage, but they don't end up taking the opportunity. Bit of a throwaway touch there from Bolty. Could make it a bit awkward, but Anthony keeps it nicely. Bolty in alone misses the flick, so gets demoed as a result. Bolty's been very awkward. His mechanics have been a bit shaky ever since Game 2 of the last series. Evan, reset, goes low, wants to bump on Anthony, but it's off the crossbar anyway. Follow up by Vantage towards the top left. Mamba Threes are making a name for themselves. And as a quick reminder, there is a second place prizing, so whoever gets this locks in a top 2 with their grand finals appearance, and they'll get at the very least 2 $50 gift codes to the 5280 Gaming shop, shop.5280gaming.com. Lots of fun stuff there if you want to go check them out. Evan seems to have a really good grasp on the 50s. I've seen a lot of very smart dunks, smart 50s, and just the placement of everything could come to his advantage. I like the physical game we're already starting here. I mean, you saw that just a second ago. Vantage catches them just slightly out. And halfway through the first game, you're at 3-1 for Mamba. Should hopefully be a free goal, one of the freest double taps you've ever seen, and I would have many questions if had Anthony missed that. You're back to a 1-goal game. Bolty has boost to work with, tries to fake out Vantage, but Anthony in for a sec. Vantage briefly alone. Bolty turns over one, reset, goes low, fakes out Evan. Absolutely nasty. Bolty is back. Called a 3-3 tie game. Love how the passing plays are starting to develop, and Evan is continuing to make as... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is Evan and Vantage's stream debut. They're making quite the name for themselves. Awkward kickoff gives Evan some control. Once again, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Evan. The physical game coming out once again. You saw the bump right there. Vantage has been incredible in his own right. What I feel like I'm noticing right now is that Evan and Vantage seem to be a power combo. Evan has a lot of the mechanics down, and Vantage seems to definitely have his brain on his side. He's had a couple of really smart plays so far. Anthony getting a little bit frisky with the ball. Bolte is very awkward once again. Wanted a back pass, but then almost left Anthony alone against Vantage. Now Anthony... Ooh, and that's unlucky there. Bolte had himself lined up for the shot after. Vantage, nice fake out. Evan wants the bump, but Vantage... Oh, he's just nasty. See, his brain is on his side. Gets the fake, recognizes the bump, and it's such a greasy play, but it's one of the most satisfying in the entire game. It's certainly up to Tonk now to continue to keep their mental game in check after a difficult loss and now being the victim of a lot of physical plays. The few times I've done that in my matches where slow roller towards the net and just go straight for the demo, I've gotten some, we'll say, interesting comments in the public chat, as demos can be frowned upon sometimes. Evan puts away the finisher. A convincing win on Mamba 3's stream debut. Final kickoff is Anthony lurking down to get some for Flair. Evan takes away any opportunity. And Anthony looking to go change cars real fast. Worthy to note that Evan and Vantage, they do have a slight ping advantage, as it looks like Bolte and company are playing on East servers. Slight advantage, it's usually nothing too egregious once you get into it. But at the end of the day, while the shots were very similar, only 10-9 in favor of Mamba 3's, it's not necessarily the defense that has been incredible, but more so the power and just how threatening those shots really were. We didn't see many dangerous chances coming out of Tonk that entire game. Saw a couple, but... Ooh, Bolte, that's a difficult miss there. Vantage goes low. Evan is there for the follow-up. I like that. But he just couldn't get the right direction on the ball. Bolte's still shaky. You gotta wonder if they lose this series, how Bolte's gonna feel after it. That's especially difficult to lose your lives on back-to-back series. Anthony looking to put away the first one. Just confuses a little bit. Perfect shot off the post. And be it intentional or not, it did just enough to throw off Vantage. Much better start to this game for Tonk. They're still looking a little rough around the edges. Evan, throwaway touch, but understandable with a lack of boost. Get some pads on the way and reset. Overall, a slower and more controlled start. Bolte, I like the idea with the corner double, but hasn't done much with it. Anthony, beautiful control with his double tap, but doesn't have enough to follow up. Overall, we've seen far more aggression. I like that team play, but it is off target. Once again, the aggression is definitely keeping Mamba 3s tangled up in their own end, just slightly more. And they need to find some the other way. Vantage has something. Almost everybody's confused for a sec. Evan wanted to capitalize on it, but they clean things up just in time. Vantage and another gorgeous dunk. This one off target. Anthony slow, recognizing that Evan's too far away and he can afford some control, although this one could have been an awkward bounce. Bolte alone with a single ounce of boost in the tank. As you would expect, nothing much from there. Evan struggled just a little bit with boost management this game, and the boost steals coming from Anthony especially are not helping his case. Now Evan, the man in question with the mechanics, reset over, but Anthony jumps just in time. So far, the main difference that I've seen from Tonka is they've just continued to play a brutal possession game. The aggression plays into that, but as you're seeing that back pass from Anthony, especially crucial in continuing the push they had going. Evan, that was a nasty sidewall redirect. It was on target, but Anthony had it read. Bolte takes it low, power shot off the crossbar. Now Evan has another chance to prove himself. Reset, goes low. Nine goals in the first game. Now with less than a minute left, you only have one on the scoreboard so far. And Evan, the man responsible for a lot of the offensive pressure earlier. Only 3 shots between Evan and Vantage. Although Evan has a pinch mid. Doesn't connect though. Bolte's done this one 1,000 times off his own backboard, although he... Now Evan in alone against Bolte. Nice instant challenge. Don't even let Evan have a chance at getting something off. That'll put the nail in the coffin of game 2. Bolte is up. Vantage. Is Evan beneath him? Not quite. Too far back in the play. Cost them the game so far. And a complete directional shift. Or to tie series, folks. That's incredible. I mean, you look at the shot totals from last game, and this time you had 4 shots to 3. Both defense and aggression are starting to come through. Fake kickoff. It looks like they did the Spanish right there. I like that. I like that. Definitely partial, and it gets them a goal to start, something they were sorely missing in the last game. Nice way to get Mamba 3s back on track. But you have to wonder if we're going to have another scoring fest or possibly another defensive showdown. Bolte wants to make it a scoring fest. Goes low, but it's off the post, and Anthony puts it away. I was thinking that might hit the crossbar for a sec. That would have been other worlds of pain for Tonk. But it works out in the end. And crazy to think that in just 22 seconds we've already seen more goals than we saw in the entirety of the last game. Evans playing a little bit more boom ball than I'd like to see. Pinch off the post. But as I was saying before that rocket towards, I want to see a little bit more control on the ground from Evan. Because we know he's capable in the air, but we haven't seen a whole lot on his ground game. Just waiting for him to make himself known. Lots of passes are coming across. While I like those passes, they could start to become predictable, although Bolte just gets through everybody. And Talk back on top. Evan has a chance low, takes it high, but Bolte reads. Vantage might have had a nice cut across, but Anthony read. Now Bolte going to continue the scoring fest. Evan's too far out. And we're back on the scoring bonanza. Mamba are on their heels. They completely popped up in the first game, but everything has fallen apart since then, excluding their goal from just the beginning of the game, but that was the result off of changing up your kickoff. Mamba 3's done about squat ever since. Fake kickoff, gaining some momentum back. Evan is up, dodges the demo from Anthony. But Evan's still having a rough time. Gets past one. Nice demo. Wants the dunk. A double fake Vantage. We've definitely seen the brain power coming out of Vantage. But they just haven't been able to score off of it. Anthony reset ground pinch towards the post. Evan barely gets to that. Oh, Bolte. Bolte with the counterattack. The triple tap. One off the ceiling, off the backboard. Bolte, after being very, very rough in a couple previous games. Folks, he's found his stride, and I don't think he's stopping anytime soon. Anthony, a pot shot actually finds its way in, and I just looked at this. I just looked at the time. We're halfway through the game. It's 6-1. They're setting themselves up for the Brazil. Can they complete the Brazil or stop it in its tracks? Bolte just monkeying off the ceiling right now. He stopped caring. He stopped trying a whole lot. They're still going to keep going, but Why not go for something fancy when you have such a cushy lead at your disposal? Evan wants to stop it, and he does. No Brazil. Barca's still on the table, but at least they're finding something. And just nice placement, Anthony. A thirst for the boost does him in. Evan. Ceiling shot towards, but Anthony continued to be just fantastic on defense. Looks like Vantage might have one coming the other way, but Anthony bullies him off the ball. I love to see that physicality, although Evan to himself. No, doesn't find that. That was... I could have sworn that was a free read, and it looks like Evan can't believe it either, tossing himself a wow in the chat. Understandable. Evan to himself, gets the double. Dealt with nicely, though, and now Evan's in a 1v1 the other way against Bolte. Does it nicely. Only 10% of the game is left, and 4 goals is almost impossible to throw. Although, a nice pool shot right there. That was nasty. I told you, Vantage's brains, and he just displayed exactly that. Disgusting. No, it wasn't even Vantage. That was Evan. Smart play right there. I've definitely seen plenty of times people bumping their own teammates to get into a ball quicker, but having enough control with your speed to bump an opponent into the ball, you know, Evan's actually not quite done. They're starting to find their stride. 15 seconds, not impossible. But as I was discussing earlier, you need to have a lot of control over your speed, because if you get the demo instead, then now you're responsible for the shot, which could go any way. If you're careful about it, it could go any way, but it certainly makes things a little bit more difficult. The bump just worked out. Bolte is off the ceiling and stifled that play. Anthony throws one long. That will do it. A 2-1 series lead for Tonk. And just when they thought that they looked absolutely terrible in game 1, the script has been flipped. Now they're 1 game away from finding themselves in the top 2 in a rematch against Apple Concentrates. Alright, we'll be resetting the lobby real fast, because it was set as a best of 3, supposed to be best of 5. Once everyone gets joined up, we'll continue on with Game 4. We're back underway. Game 4 to stay alive and find themselves with a top 2 finish. Mamba 3s have a job to do. They know what it is. They just need to execute. Evan's already starting off the game by making the defense awkward, although they've handled it well thus far. Already seeing increased aggression. Vantage did a quick switch over to the Dominus, so car known for its mechanics. Maybe Vantage can bring something to the table that we haven't seen from him yet. Evan recognized an awkward defense, gets a dunk. 1-0 is the same start that we saw in Game 3. However, this time it was more at their own volition instead of a couple things working out in their favor. We're seeing the first bit of offensive pressure from Tonk this game. Oh, they've done a very nice job of immediately turning it around. I respect the G2 away decal too, one of the prettiest of all the new ones. Bolty is there, having to dodge a bump. Evan does a great job. Now they get tied the other way. Past one wants a demo on Bolty. Does a good job to avoid that, but Evan just put too much power on it. Vantage has a clear passing lane down to Evan, takes it. Evan is up, double, triple tap. Not quite, but this first minute and a half has been completely dominated by Mamba. Vantage actually dribbles out the entire defense. I'm not sure how that happened, but he makes it work regardless. 2 minutes, 2 goals. Just fakes one out, catches Bolty to the wrong side. It doesn't matter if it's a slow roller or a high flyer. If it goes in, it's a goal. Now Evan's turn. Evan's turn to make it 3. He's so smart with those dunks, even though Bolty got the save in the end. He's a mastermind. Vantage Dominus known for its flicks. One powerful, a force through. Anthony awkward. They escape with their lives this time. Although Vantage might have some possession going the other way. Anthony a little antsy. Just gotta reel it in, and reel it in he has. Tosses that one. Halfway through, and it's only a 1-goal game. Evan slow. To himself down, a very awkward ball, but he does manage to get it center and bump Anthony with an incredible save last second. Beautiful heads-up play. Bolty almost own goals, but nothing happens quite yet. And a very sweet touch by Bolty actually rewards him with the goal. It's a tie game despite all the momentum being in Mamba 3's favor. Just a little missed touch from Evan off a wildly unpredictable play. There you have it. Bolty is actually nowhere to be seen. I was expecting a follow-up there to take the lead, but doesn't take it. Vantage has one reset, has a second one. Bolty's backboard presence has been pretty incredible and constant throughout both this series and the last. Vantage actually gets one through center, but an off-target shot. Evan's going to be thinking about that one later if this game is to be a loss. Smart plays there from Vantage. I like that rotation, constantly keeping your eye on the ball and reading where the play is going to go. Double demo briefly. Bolte caught in a 1v1, although I assume Vantage will be back if anything else. Anthony, pot shot, doesn't go. Although Vantage from out of nowhere wants a double, but Anthony has been very patient. Bolte across, Evan. Nice save here as this continues to come down to the wire. Anthony could have had a nice 1v1 against Vantage, but one missed touch undoes it. Evan shot towards Vantage, wants to redirect a couple bumps, a little scrappiness. Nothing goes in. And game 4 could come down to overtime. Anthony, ridiculous flick. There's nothing there. Final countdown, final 5 seconds. Long shot across. Does Vantage drop this, or does he take this to the other side? Evan wants it down, does get it. Anthony wanted extra pressure, but the first overtime that we've seen so far this stream. Usually there's been a couple by now, and it's going to be over just like that. Tonk win the series 3-1. They move on to a rematch against Apple Concentrate. GG's coming around. You'll have the mutual respect that you see across all team barriers. And Mamba 3s, I would hope that they'd be back because they put on a show for us. I can imagine the results could only get better in the future. That will do it. We'll get the lobby set up. It'll be a best of 7, but with a game advantage for Apple Concentrates. They'll start 1-0 in the series, meaning Tonk will essentially have to win the best of 7 in 6. I'll have a look at the bracket now. We have almost filled it in completely. Mamba 3s just barely finding their way out. A kickoff goal, one of the most painful ways to end things. But that's how it goes sometimes. We'll be right back. The grand finals underway momentarily. The grand finals are here, and what a tournament it's been. We've seen some incredible matchups thus far, but a rematch between two tough foes could prove to be the best of it. Welcome back, everybody, to South Suburban Esports Rocket League 2v2 tournament number 5. My name is Fizzy, and I have some fun folks near me. Couple thank yous before we get going here. Thanks Jason for helping us with the production and stuff. 5280 for providing our second place prize, in Community Gaming for helping us with bracket management and all that sorts. It's been a great time, and we're going to start to come to a close. One more quick reminder that the Spring Showcase is still on the way. We're just over a month out. May 20th, $20 entry fee, and some great prizing across. We've got some nice prizing for the fighting game communities games and the main stage Rocket League 3v3, not 2v2, threes this time. 375 first, 150 second, and 75 for the third place. It's going to be a ton of fun. Feel free to stop by and enter some tournaments. We're going to have a great time. Once again, that is May 20th from noon to 10 p.m. Back to the game, though. Despite my expectations, nobody has scored thus far, although we've seen games range from just ridiculous blowouts in scoring to 1-0 defenses. So far, a lot of back and forth boom ball, nothing really that threatening thus far. Although, speaking of threatening, MDG nearly pots one away. Anthony and Bolte are really going to need to pull out as many stops as physically possible. Two minutes in and still hardly anything. A couple chances have gone here and there, but nothing that's particularly made me think that's probably in. MDG, rare control on the ground. It seems like he's been the aerial mastermind so far. Anthony, a little bit of control. Ever since the first series between these two, Apple Concentrate have really picked up their physical game a ton. Like, I've seen plenty of opportunities where they're side by side, one chasing for a demo, one with the ball in control. I like where it's going, and it's succeeded for them a few times. So just adding one more thing to their arsenal of the many things that both of these teams are capable of. As you would expect in the grand finals, this happens in just about every tournament, and especially at the RLCS level. Everyone gets a little bit more defensive once you get into the grand finals, and they could possibly get even more defensive in the later games. Although also worthy to note that the best games are the ones that are at least the most memorable, at least have a decent chunk of scoring. I mean, think back to the end of Season 5, think back to Moist Furia Game 7. Those incredible ones were, obviously, they weren't like crazy scoring. It wasn't anything 5-4, something like that, but a few goals. Both 3-2 in their respective games. Anthony wants their dribble bump, and MDG, nice evasion. Minute left, and we're still deadlocked, but possibly not for long. MDG wants to fake out Bolte. Bolte doesn't bite. Great resolve to keep this thing at a scoreless tie. Despite Bolte and Anthony picking up their physical game, Apple have responded in the exact way that we want them to, just being better and more aware of everything. Seen plenty of evaded demos. Been a stalemate so far, but Anthony breaks the tie. Tonker looking to tie the series up. As we mentioned earlier, this is a game advantage in a best of 7, so that means Apple just gets an immediate 1-goal lead, and Tonk has to win a best of 7 in 6 games. I was expecting this one to fully go to overtime. But Anthony seems to have had enough, although if we've seen enough from Apple, they can do just about anything in any amount of time they want to. Although Bolte puts the nail in the coffin, excluding a kickoff goal or anything just about as quick as such. This first game is going to talk, and we'll be at a best of 5. And a pretty even kickoff. Nothing's going to come out of that. Unless, never mind. I'm not sure why Bolte was just so unbelievably far up. I guess he was expecting Anthony to pass it over, but the net's completely wide open. Like, you hardly even see Bolte within the outer circle. Two seconds to make some magic happen. Max, that's a perfect pass across. MDG, that'll do it. Tonka's tied this series up and have evened themselves out with the game advantage for Apple. We're back in best of 5 territory. Shot totals are continuing to tell the story as they typically do. MDG fantastic on defense like he has been. I want to see just a little bit more from Max. He's been incredible with his physical game. Bolte and Anthony have really used that as part of their main strategy. I feel like if Max can do a really good job of re-implementing that physical game, they could be in for a bit of an easier series and possibly win in 5. Heading the other way as Apple got shut out in the last, or almost shut out in the last game. Looking to change the story earlier, and they might be able to. MDG off of a demo from Mad Max. They've put themselves back in it. Just one little double commit, the recognition there. I'm not sure if the demo was completely intentional, but it certainly did help. MDG awkward, just wishing for some control. MDG is dangerous off the ceiling, ripper of a pass down, but it's still too far from Max to make anything happen. Now a long passing play, Bolte, perfect placement in the bottom right corner. It's a tie game. Nice to see that Apple has already turned on the gas. Far more aggression has done them nicely so far. And speaking of which, once again, not particularly sure where Bolte is. This is the second time this happened this series. He just gets caught way out of net, trusting Anthony a little bit too much. That's certainly not to say that Anthony is not trustworthy. He absolutely is an incredible player in his own right. But sometimes you're just going to get beaten. You cannot physically get to every single ball the fastest. You can't win every 50. Risks that you don't want to take. Max, MDG, surely chasing down the demo. Doesn't connect, but Anthony deals with the pressure from behind. Bolte very awkward, and MDG with a perfect ground pitch into the opposite corner. Not much you can do when you're stuck on the post there on defense. You just got to put it slightly far. You're golden. Multi-goal lead, a rare occurrence, and they're going to continue to extend it, make that 4-1. And we're not even 2 minutes into this game. With that being said, though, only being 2 minutes into this game leaves plenty of time for a comeback. Now Max continuing on his pace. The aggression has done Apple well. Is it going to do the exact same thing? And a nasty redirect from Bolte. The offense continues to fly. I think that we had 3 goals in the entirety of game 2 technically. Now we've doubled that in under half the time. Anthony had MDG awkward for a moment, fakes him out, might actually just be able to pot shot towards Max, has a save. Bolte has really come alive in the last few games, and he continues to, but a wonderful save on the far post from MDG. They're going to try and set up a counter-attack. Max actually might have Bolte read the entire way, though not the bounce you want off the ceiling, so most of the pressure is going to be diluted. More physical play is absolutely coming out from Apple. It's done them plenty of favors so far. Mad Max nearly has one, but just gets the wrong bounce off the corner. Max, no boost to work with, is in alone, although MDG with a perfect back pass. Noticed MDG especially has been hunting for far more demos, was hunting for one near the backboard just a moment ago. That almost worked out perfectly for Bolte, although if Bolte had flip canceled there, he might have had a bit more control on the ball, but we'll go away, and Anthony wants a demo, but Mad Max recognized the situation. Now Bolte attempted Musty and almost an own goal for Mad Max. That was very close in some awkward close corners. They aren't punished for it yet, and they've done a really good job maintaining this lead so far, although Bolte is continuing with the pressure. Anthony is up. MDG completely alone on defense right now, but has done a fantastic job of control and a lack of boost. Has done Tonk in so far. And MDG punches. Oh, wow. What a defensive play from Bolte. That was ridiculous. I could have sworn that either Anthony or Bolte got demoed instead of the other way around. That was perfect defense. A nice way to get a little momentum in your favor, or just like at least say, hey, yeah, we can do this. We're capable of these crazy things. And speaking of crazy things, with 3 seconds left, it's a 1-goal game. Things are still possible. Bolte, Anthony are coming alive. MDG thought it was going to be a fake towards the ground. He got bit on his decision and might get bit even more. Kickoff needs to be perfect, and it's okay. Bolte, this is going to be tough to get some control. He does. Awkward, though. Is Bolte over? He wanted the redirect, although Anthony might have a free shot. Doesn't have any boost to get a clear one on it. And Bolte with the pre-flip just misses. MDG and Mad Max survive a last-second push from Tonk to take a 2-1 series lead. Shots are just about even. We'll move on to Game 4. This has been incredible so far. Imagine we had a 7-game series last time, if I remember correctly. I would certainly not be opposed to another one. I'm not sure what MDG is doing. He has Jason laughing in the corner. I hope that picked up on the mic because that was honestly kind of funny. But hey, you know what? Even it on occasion doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you are. Everybody looks like a plat sometimes, be it a brilliant play from a silver or a ridiculous blunder from a high SSL. Everyone looks like a plat sometimes. MDG fires that one, had a free net, but is off the backboard, and Tonk catch a rare break. Anthony is extremely awkward right now, gives MDG a long flick up, so nothing there. Bolty heading the other direction, wanted a fake. More aggression coming out. I mean, you're seeing these demos coming across. Mad Max had one in the midfield, but ends up going in a quick counter attack on, just one little miss from Max. And make that 1-0 for Tonk. Bolty actually might have just put away a second one right off the kickoff. Another miss from Max. And game 4 has so far gone swimmingly. Not even a miss. I think he was on target to hit that, but just Bolty beat him, got the perfect redirect into the center of the net. And now Tonk's job is to defend this multi-goal lead with most of the game left to go. Bolty had a free net to shoot at, but to be fair, there was a miss earlier from MDG, so only fair that you get an open net miss on the other side. Kind of evens things out. Bolty has Anthony cross, doesn't take it, goes low. MDG off the corner to himself, wants a double, doesn't have it. Nice shot on net, and actually both commit, so Apple cut the lead in half off of a crucial mistake from Tonk. You just see there, one's awkward, and Bolty, while trying to make the save, just launches. Didn't launch him up, but probably launched him to the other side of the planet. Whatever you want to call it, only one thing is certain. That's that Apple is on the board. Max up off of a nice pass and feed from MDG. Reset over. He is disgusting off the crossbar and down, tie game just like that. Bolty in alone to restore the lead. Nice patience from MDG. Definitely something that a lot of people just instantly jump at. Max continuing to be ruthless on the physical front. Trying to be ruthless on mechanics as well, but a couple misses have definitely cost them quite a bit this game. Anthony in alone against Max. Flick is pinched way off. An immediate counterattack. What a save by Bolty. It's just incredible how in the span of like about 3 seconds you can go from an incredible chance off the corner, redirect, and it's already towards the other net. Insta-challenging like you just saw there on MDG could really be beneficial towards Tonk, as there have been so many mechanical plays just everywhere. The quicker you can get them off the ball, the better. Nice demo to alleviate a lot of the pressure. More passing plays. They've been incredible at this. It actually pinches in. That might have been one of the fastest pinches I've ever seen. No, it's only 74 miles an hour. That looked like it practically teleported into the net. So be it, you know. Tonk right now at 3-2, and you know this is an incredible series when the guy next to you who hardly plays Rocket League is staring intently at the OBS screen. MDG extremely awkward right here, but does just enough to get out. Although that's very awkward. MDG once again. I think he's finally done with his awkwardness. Plenty of boost in the tank. Long flick over. Crazy power. Where's Max on the follow-up? He's not there, but to be fair, I don't think he expected such an odd touch coming out of Tonk. Sharp angle shot is saved. Back and forth yet again. Looking to take this one to decide who goes to match point in Game 5. Although Bolty could put the nail in the coffin right here. Fakes it. Even though Mad Max was awkward, he had no way of getting to that ball. Could have cost them greatly. They make it out. Final 10 seconds. Ball on MDG. Wanted a bump there, but Bolty stayed strong. Max out to MDG. MDG blocked by Bolty and throws that one away. Anthony, perfect job there. 2-2 series tie. We're going to at least a Game 6. That's the exact sort of thing that you would want from such an incredible series. Shots, one of the very few times this tournament, it was actually 10-7 in favor of Apple. But Tonk with more threatening opportunities and the incredible defense, mind you. They figured them out. Game 5 to decide who goes on match point. And remember that both of these teams have already secured at least the second place prize, but whoever goes to first place instead of $100 in gift codes to the 52 shop, they just get $100 in cold hard cash. Bit of a quieter start to Game 3 as both teams have thoroughly felt each other out to this point. Everybody's awkward. 3,000 people faking. Bolty has Anthony to his right. Beautiful demo from behind. One of the most underrated defensive plays in the entire game. Just completely gets rid of everything. Throws every player off. Mad Max might actually have a free net to shoot it, and he does. He finds the sharp angle. Apple are the first to break in Game 5. Max looking to hammer a second one home, but both in a placement error and nice positioning from Bolty. We stay where we're at. MDG fake the long clear to get some possession for himself. Is up. Both awkward on the goal line. I was almost a double commit. They rush and panic to get to it. Does work this time. They're going to have to be careful about that going forward. MDG surely has a solo play. Keeps it low. Awkward on control. Just wants to dribble him out, but he's unsuccessful so far. There's a reset. Shot towards the net. Is off. Long clear out as most of the pressure has been in favor of Apple so far, but a 50 gone wrong. Tonk tie up the game by complete accident. But I'm sure they don't care as long as it crosses the line. And of course, right after, to be fair, the last one went by by complete accident, so I guess it is only fair that a kickoff goal comes straight after to restore the 1-goal lead. About halfway through Game 5, and this might be the first breakthrough that we've even seen for Tonk, but it is immediately thrown aside, and Max heading down for a counterattack. They have had all the pressure so far. It's continued to do them wonderfully. Anthony flick over. Bolte might have a redirect down. Indeed, he does. Mad Max with a pre-jump save. MDG might be able to head the other way. Loses control, though. And Bolte against Mad. Nothing there, and everyone's going to have to reset. 2 minutes to go. MDG might have free net to shoot at, but Anthony perfectly read it. Had to pre-jump just slightly, but it's the best you can do. Read the shot placement perfectly. Max. Awkward on the control. There could have been some free possession for Bolte had he jumped for that, but he doesn't. But he does start a counterattack now. Fakes out MDG over. Anthony is up, down. But Mad Max gets in the way just enough. Mad Max, a few crucial misses really cost Apple in the previous game. But he seems to have cleaned up everything so far. Much cleaner game. The only goal going in off of just an awry 50. MDG, this one is down, but it is slightly off. Multi-goal lead would have been much appreciated. They won't have the opportunity. Max looking to seal the deal. Down, ground double to himself, but Bolte continues to be patient. Anthony has no boost to work with, but gets a crazy amount of power for the amount of boost. No goals since our little back and forth action. Oh, that might have changed. Anthony has the double. No, he actually doesn't. I could have sworn that that was going in regardless, but no. The best opportunity they've had to tie this entire thing up. It's thrown by the wayside, and a ground double to himself seals the deal. Game 5. Apple are 1 away from the $100 cash prize. SC2v2 Rocket League number 5. And as we discussed, most of the pressure was coming from Apple just about the entire time. You can tell with a 2-to-1 shot ratio. The entire time, we've only seen the shot totals deviate from telling the story of the score once. The trend continues. Game 6, one of the most fabled, and where so many series end, I feel like way more often than not, a series is over in 6 rather than being extended to 7. And Apple would like to do exactly that. I want to see more physicality. The one thing that they seriously lacked in Game 5 is I hardly saw any physicality whatsoever. It benefited them so much when they got physical. But Tonk, and actually, maybe they don't need to get physical, because if they can just catch Apple out of rotation, then you just sail one straight in with no resistance whatsoever. But even then, that's not enough. They're only back to tied. MDG. While I was saying that maybe Tonk should start to get more aggressive, MDG's taking the exact same advice. MDG low, Bolty. Looked like he might have been panicking for a sec on the wall, but stays composed. Now Anthony the other way against MDG. 1v1. Wants to go for the demo, but it's off target anyway. You can only really go for those when the ball is going to sail in. It's a tough mistake. Not necessarily crucial, though. If they were at a deficit, we would be talking about this a lot more, but nothing has happened so far. Bolty, Musty again. He's been very fond of those, but none of them have gone in so far. I think that's maybe the third or fourth time I've seen an attempt one. Anthony fully boosted up with too big of a touch. He's going to be forced to retreat back into his own end. Max taking a page out of his book. Bolty, how despite the amount of musties he's attempted, Mad Max just rips one on his first try. And he hardly even had momentum going towards the ball, just absolutely nails that. Heck, if I could save the replays and maybe have a look at that. Learn from some of the best, apparently, MDG. Wants one there. A lot of Tonk's goals have come rather than out of their own brilliance, more so out of the mistakes of Apple and relying on mistakes so much. While you can maybe do that at the lower ranks, once you really get anywhere past Diamond, you can't just rely on people's mistakes to really go places. Wants a dunk, doesn't have one. Just he had a free pass to his left for Anthony, but just got too far in front of him. Bolty. We've seen it a couple of times with Anthony and Bolty so far. They're just trying to play a little too fast. That's resulting in them losing a lot of control over the ball where they could have had nice control. It just gets too far away. Playing outside of their own pace, and Bolty, that is a crucial, difficult one right there, but doesn't make it happen. That actually probably would have went in if Mad Max just wasn't right there at that specific time. So it going to matter. Now MDG's getting in on the demo game. Anthony, no boost. Takes it up, fakes it. No choice but to fake it. And MDG has stayed smart. Getting a demo on your own defensive end just does such a great job of diluting the pressure. Anthony alone once again. Anthony has been resorting to a lot of flicks rather than anything else, and it's starting to get predictable. Anthony, if he can beat them to this. Bolty. Just a little too much boom, although it might work anyway, but no, MDG with a nice save. And Game 6 is racing to a close. The clock so slow for Apple, but way too fast for Tonk. On your last life. What can you do? You have to mix things up, get a little bit more creative. Bolty, where is he? He needs to go up for the shot. Does, but misplaces it. One of the best opportunities, although if anyone turns for this, MDG's there. Max, long out to put the nail in the coffin. Double tap, misses it actually. Anthony chasing down. Is it going to go in? And he actually gets it! I thought it was going to hit the ground in 0 seconds, but it doesn't with 1 second on the clock. It doesn't hit the ground. Anthony, perfect job. Just gets the physicality and right where it needs to. It's crazy that MDG actually got past him just enough, but was just, oh, pixels too deep in the net. They try and fake the kickoff to see if they can get something. MDG, they want to be the heartbreakers. At 0 seconds. Anthony, can he be the one to shatter it? No! MDG, a perfect save off of there. I thought he wasn't back in net, and that was game. But possibly even better, Game 6 overtime to decide whether we find ourselves with another grand final. Game 7. Nothing so far. The last overtime we saw ended swiftly, a double commit on the save after nothing short of a rocket from MDG at midfield. But they survived that one, although they're kind of tangled up with each other. Bolte needs to turn and shoot to take this overtime, and he does! MDG can't save it! We go to Game 7! MDG has been nothing short of ridiculous on defense. But you just can't cancel that much momentum going into the wrong direction. Bolte and Anthony stay alive. Their rematch has gone splendidly. Game 7 underway. The aggression has done them so well. Shots 12-5, one of the greatest differences we've seen so far. And while we've been on Champions Field this entire time, the map means nothing. Game 7, Champs Field, where legends are made and hearts are broken. Who comes out on top? You guys better not go in here. There are people watching right now. If anyone clicks off the stream right now, I will come to your house and not do anything. I'll just be very mad at you. Slow and awkward with no boost to start things off. Bolte in alone versus MDG. Can he keep enough control? Backs off to take the boost. I like that. That's a smart play. Knowing MDG's in a rough spot, and you can use that to continue momentum going forward. Nice demo on the back end to continue on. The momentum continues to swing. Nice reset over, and they broke the ice in Game 7. Now they just need to hold. They have themselves a lead. Apple concentrates 1 in a Game 7 last time. Now they must do it again. Max looking to finish things off. But doesn't. This one, Anthony might have one across. Bolte puts one in. Another catch out of rotation. We saw the exact same thing earlier in Game 6. And after so many high finishes for Tonk and Bolte in particular, I believe he had a different teammate in the first time they participated in. But after so many high finishes, they have an opportunity to finish the job with a multi-goal lead in Game 7. Granted, it is early. But if you can preserve it, then so be it. And actually, a beautiful double demo, a triple demo! Mad Max, you are disgusting! Nothing short of headhunting there, but it works. Demo's both on the back end, gets the respawn he needs, kills one at the final moment. And while it doesn't tie the game, it makes things a lot easier and has to be just angering. Although, wait, no, Bolte might restore the lead, and indeed he does. 3-1 now. As I told you guys earlier, the best games here on Champions Field are the ones with a decent amount of scoring. We're getting quite that at the moment. And they might actually be able to put away a fourth one. Bolte sends it down just enough, but Anthony's sure to punch this one away towards the far post. They continue on. 4-1, every little piece of momentum despite brilliance from Max. It's just all falling into Tonk's lap right now. Max, accidental ceiling pinch to himself. Anthony, MDG surely gets that one. Just not enough control, too far away and boostless. Apple are not done yet. If Bolte had just stayed on the near post sidewall. He could have easily gotten to that, but flew across. A double commit seems to be their most favorite thing to capitalize on. Apple, despite the incredible scoring efforts, have still done a good job. I don't think they've necessarily played a bad game. Just so many things haven't gone their way. Definitely some mistakes. But they're still in it. It hasn't all fallen apart. Bolte, what a save right there. Deep inside the net. The ball was 3/4 or more inside of it. But it continues to relieve more and more. MDG is up but gets dunked. If Anthony is there, Bolte has it. There we go. Towards the net. Make it 5. Bolte has 4. And while one could argue that a lot of his goals have been into open nets, the fact that he's been there to capitalize on all of those mistakes, it doesn't matter. You can have flashy mechanics and all. But having that, being in that right position at the right time and knowing you're there has done so well. And if he had boost there, he might be able to put away a 6th. Who knows? A long pinch out is going to reset a ton of the momentum. Nice demo dodge there from MDG. Bolte is awkward with Max. Max does a good job waiting him out. Oh, and what a flick there, delayed. I thought he had lost his flip there and was just going to air dribble it. MDG has been quiet this game, but Max's brilliance has kept Apple alive. The last time they were within 1 was 2-1. Earlier in the game. Now 5-3. It's been a multi-goal lead that they haven't been able to drop down to a single. Oh, Bolte, don't do 5. That would have been embarrassing for MDG. Good save so far. Anthony, can he get the redirect? Oh, that would have been disgusting. I am convinced that would have been right on target over MDG's head. We can only dream about it. And no point in dreaming about it when you're so close to the end of an incredible Game 7. Anthony, long bang across. Now they're starting to play some boom ball. Just getting it away, making it easier, but boom ball be not. MDG has opened things up. They've opened the door, but their foot isn't quite inside. One goal is the separation. Apple have done so good clawing their way back into this game. It's not over yet. Anthony actually might have just completely outplayed MDG, but too sharp of an angle. And it just sails through and through the goal line. Bolte, pinch down. MDG has had a little bit of struggle with positioning so far. Max has been ridiculous all game. Goes for the musty, is over. Bolte knocks it out. MDG, that one's down. Mad Max actually committed to that in a perfect demo, but Anthony couldn't get the right touch. That one actually might be a pass out. Bolte decides to back off, though. Smart. With 30 seconds to go, I believe our highest scoring game of the series comes in Game 7. With Tonk so close to slaying their demons, Mad Max has an idea. Final 10 seconds. Have they finally done it? MDG, no! No, it's on the crossbar! Apple might have just trolled the entire game away. Mad Max, last opportunity. Reset, musty down. Up, and Bolte! There was a ghost touch. The ping. The ping did Bolte in. It might not show up in the replay, but if you watch the VOD, Bolte had the touch there. No, it doesn't come through on the replay. Just a slight ping disadvantage. 5-5. Apple has came back from 4-1 down in Game 7 to send it to overtime. Can Tonk pull through? Although Natumi won the other way. Max is hunting him down. MDG puts the dagger in. Apple, despite all odds, despite all the momentum from Tonk, 11 seconds into overtime, find just enough to get past Tonk, and that has to be heartbreaking, shattering, just thrown across the room like your controller after losing that Game 7. And Bolte out of there quickly. All the shots coming through. In 5 minutes and 11 seconds of playtime, 16 shots. That might have been one of the single best comebacks I've ever seen. MDG and Mad Max, they found a way, being 3 goals down deep into a Game 7. Clawed back the overtime winner, and Mad Max, he's been so good with his demos all tournament long. It comes to be the X Factor this late. Thank you guys so much once again. A couple quick thank yous before you go. 5280 Gaming for providing the second place prizing. That'll go to Anthony 8 Pizza. Once again, best name of all time. And Bolte. And $100 cash to MDG and Mad Max. Thank you guys so much once again. My name is Fizzy. We're coming to you live from the Lone Tree Hub down here just south of Denver. Definitely pop by. We have drop-ins, I believe, Monday through Friday. Lots of fun there. To my right, I have Jason. Salute to you, my friend, for helping out with production. And the same to you for my right.